Welcome to Ottawa Eats on Rogers TV. I'm your host, Tom Schoch. Thanks so much for joining us. So where should you go for food in beautiful Ottawa? Elgin Street. You should go to town. You know, because it's called town, so you go to town. See, I know I'm not funny. It's Ottawa Eats. Let's go inside and meet Mark. He has the gift of beard, and we're going to go to town on food. Stomach empty requires food. All right, we're with Mark from town. Thank you so much for having us here today.
Thanks for coming.
As you can tell, we've had a beard off. We've been planning this for weeks, and I came in second, top two finish. Thank you, Mark. All right, it's delightful, by the way. How long have you been growing that?
Oh God, 9 years maybe?
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
This is 20.
Wow.
Yeah, not good. All right, let's talk about your restaurant.
Yeah.
Other than beards. So we're here on Elgin Street. Mark, this is a beautiful place that you have here. Tell us a little bit about why you do what you do and how long you've been doing it.
Well, I've basically been in the business for 20 years, maybe over 20 years now. It's all I know. It's what I love to do. I've always liked cooking, and it was one of those fields that I wanted to get into. And I've always loved the idea of Italian food. It's comfort food. So when I decided to open a restaurant, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do something that's a riff on Italian stuff, because I'm not Italian, but I love Italian food.
Right.
So I'm not going to try to make authentic Italian food, but I'm going to try to make something that's, you know, comforting and in that vein, in that spirit.
Right. So if you were to describe the food that you make here, if you had to give it a word that you're going to invent, because I'm going to put you on the spot right here.
Oh, God.
What is that word?
I would say playful Italian inspired, you know, comfort food.
It's hyphenated then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lots of hyphens.
Of all the food that you've tasted from all the different places that you've gone in the world, have you brought any of that to your own cooking, or is it just something that you enjoy? Do you kind of try and separate the two when it comes to food?
No. I try to, everywhere I go, I try to bring back something that, if it strikes me and if it's delicious and if I want to recreate it, I'll bring it back, no matter where I am. Most of the time, this restaurant, all the ingredients start off being Italian, but then I'll throw in things that are definitely not Italian.
Right.
But the idea of the dish is still, you know, from Italy,
inspired.
All right.
So, last question for you. What's your one guilty pleasure with food? It doesn't have to be something that you make. It doesn't have to be from another restaurant. It can be anything that you're going to sit down, nobody's watching you, and you're going to have it all over your face when you're done. What is it?
Oh, God. That's a tough one.
Don't be too proud here. You can say chicken wings if you want to say chicken.
Well, you know, it's a toss-up, right? It's a toss-up between, I would say, like spaghetti and meatballs and nachos. You know?
That would be a great combination if you're going to combine those two.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go, a new invention. All right, so we're going to hop in the kitchen with Mark. You're going to make 3 beautiful dishes for us, right?
Yep.
All right, and we're going to find out what those are next here on Ottawa Eats. So now we're in the kitchen here at town, and this is something that is probably one of the most unique combination of ingredients that I've ever seen. So if people don't know what we're looking at right now, I want you to save the most interesting one for last, okay? But what are we making here, and what are some of the ingredients that you're working with? Okay,
well, kind of like I was saying before, usually the basis of all the things that I make is Italian. So gazpacho is a very Italian thing to have. So
absolutely.
At the very basis of the dish is a watermelon gazpacho, which is like watermelon, cucumber, tomato, blitzed up together with a little sherry vinegar, some olive oil, salt, pepper, and that's about it. And then to make it a little bit heartier,
I like that. That's good.
We add things.
Yeah.
We grill some corn, so there's grilled corn that goes in here. These are little watermelon balls.
Oh, very cool.
We compress them in a little machine that sucks all the air out. You get this really nice bright red color.
That's very cool.
Yeah. And then here we have cherry tomatoes that we quickly blanch. So cook them, chill them, peel them.
Right.
And then we smoke them. So they have a
nice.
smoke flavor.
Nice touch.
Yeah. And then here we have balsamic vinegar that we've turned into little pearls by adding a bit of gelatin. And so it's balsamic vinegar, but in a more of a solid form.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah. Over here we have feta cheese, and it's whipped feta cheese. So we whip it with a little bit of cream cheese, some olive oil, salt,
Wow.
lemon juice.
Do you ever sit at home, watch like Felicity, and eat a whole tub of this? Be honest.
It's a little salty, but yeah, maybe.
I'll join you on a Friday.
All right.
It's a date.
Okay.
All right. So how does all this come together? Like some
Well-
of these ingredients are ridiculous, and of course the final ingredient.
Yeah. What I've left out is duck hearts. Not super popular, but incredibly delicious. And what I was saying before is that it's you try this and like it's instead of like an organ meat, it's going to taste like a duck breast.
Oh, okay. Now you gave this a name when we were talking off camera. You said this is a.
So this is a pastrami cured duck heart.
Okay.
So we make all the flavors of pastrami into our cure, which is like cinnamon, juniper berries, garlic, cloves, and there's a few other things in there. And then we let that cure for 5 days before we cook it.
So what's the actual term for this type of meat?
Offal.
Okay, so it's not that it's an awful meat, it's spelled differently, right?
Yeah, O-F-F-A-L.
Yeah, see, I thought he went, there's no awful meat. There's always just good meat. So you've grilled this right here, right? So it's a grilled duck heart. So how does all this come together now?
Would you like me to put the dish together?
Absolutely, yeah.
So basically, it's just lining up everything in the dish. So I've sliced the duck hearts in half here. This is our whipped feta, which looks like whipped cream, but definitely does not taste like
I'm not
whipped cream.
lying. Felicity or not, I'm going to eat a tub of that probably.
Yeah, you probably will once you taste it. Couple of pieces of compressed watermelon that we have on there. A couple of pieces of our tomato, the smoked tomato that we've blanched and peeled and smoked. Grilled corn. So this is just simply like grilled and then cut. So we have a few like sort of thick pieces on there. The next we add our gazpacho.
It's a real art to what you're doing right now. It's not just throwing it all into a bowl.
No,
that's how I cook.
Yeah, well, I mean, for restaurants you have to do this. You know?
Apparently.
It's just something. So here this is balsamic vinegar that we've made into little pearls. Right, so like that. Here we have some pea shoots.
Oh, very cool.
Which we get locally.
See, I would never think to eat that part of the pea.
It's delicious. And here we have nasturtiums that my wife and I grow in our garden at home. So we always bring in our
Does she know you bring these in? Is she mad at you all the time?
She brought them in for me.
Oh, okay.
She wanted me to bring them in.
What are you doing in my garden? I need to bring them into the restaurant. Yeah.
So essentially that is our gazpacho there.
Wow.
The only thing we're missing, which I forgot, is we have toasted almonds in there as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So if people are looking for this on the menu, is there a specific name that it's going by?
Watermelon and duck heart gazpacho.
All right, pretty simple. There you go. So it's a beautiful combination of colors, texture, tastes, and I mean duck hearts. If you've never had it before, which I haven't, that's a really, really interesting twist on gazpacho. Like you said, it's twisted Italian. It's twisted Italian,
it's fun. You know, like you're eating really interesting flavors. You have smoke from the watermelon or from the tomatoes. You have the sweetness from the watermelon, the grill flavor from the corn, the freshness of the gazpacho.
Yeah.
And then the cured pastrami tasting duck hearts.
All right. So that's our first course.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to course number 2. And what is it?
The next course will be one of our lunch sandwiches, and it's our porchetta sandwich.
All right. So there you go. Whet your appetite. Ottawa Eats. We're going to return with Mark in the kitchen here on Rogers TV. I think I could probably manage to cook the corn, and that would be probably about it. All right, we're on to dish number 2. Hopefully we whet your appetite with dish number 1. This one is a lunch sandwich that you're going to do
It's a lunch sandwich, yeah.
Okay, all right, perfect. So what is it and where did this come from?
Well, again, the base is Italian, so this is what you're looking at here is porchetta. So porchetta is, we get in a pork belly, we take the pork belly, we season it. Well, first we take the skin off, and then we season it. Inside here you can see there's fennel, rosemary, lemon, olive oil, salt, and garlic.
Wow.
And then we roll it, we tie it, and we just basically let it marinate for 3 days.
Wow,
refrigerated. So it gets almost, you can see there's almost like a cured kind of thing happening to it.
Yeah, and I love this kind of meat. It's just such a... And you make this yourself, essentially?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We make it every second day.
All right.
Much,
so it's nice and beautiful and fresh, and it's marinated. And then what else do we have here?
So here we have our bread that we make every day. This is our house bread.
Okay.
It's kind of like a brioche kind of bread. It has a bit of butter, some eggs, some milk, that kind of thing. Then over here, which might be really interesting, is it's a tuna mayonnaise. So it's mayonnaise, but made with the belly of albacore tuna.
Really?
Yeah. So in Italy, what is very traditional is cold sliced veal in tuna sauce. They call it vitello tonato.
Oh.
So basically, in the sandwich, I'm doing a play on vitello tonato built in a sandwich.
All right.
And instead of veal, we're using pork.
Okay, so again, a little twisted Italian.
A little twist.
I like that. All right. And what's this right here?
So right here is our vinaigrette, and we make like a little slaw. And our slaw is very simple. It's just red cabbage, apple, fennel, and red onions. And then this is a little vinaigrette here that we use. And very simple lemon, shallots, olive oil. There's some black pepper in there. There's a little bit of salt.
See, I love this. Whenever I talk to people like you, please don't be offended when I say that, but when you say simple, it is simple. There's not a lot of process that goes into it, but for a lot of people, you just rhymed off, 6 or 7 different ingredients, and I'm going, oil and vinegar. That's my sauce. That's pretty much it. But this, I mean, you've put a lot of thought into something like this.
Yeah, and the thing is, we always think a lot about our dishes, and this has a lot of acidity, whereas this has a lot of richness.
Right, so it's a good balance.
It's a good balance.
Okay.
And the other ingredient.
This is the coolest part. I like this because.
The other ingredient, which is totally not Italian. I think it's more Mexican. It's called chicharrones. And basically, chicharrones is we take the skin off the pork belly. We cook the skin for about 2 hours.
Right.
Then we dehydrate it in a dehydrator that we have in the back, which gets it to the point where it's like.
Okay.
Like that.
Now, could you eat something like that?
No.
No? Okay.
It's, you could maybe not even break it. Like it's,
right. So it's very brittle. And,
it's very brittle.
All right. So it's like pasta when it's raw, almost.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Exactly. And then, I've got some here in our deep fryer. So I'll show you. It'll take probably a couple minutes for them to come up.
Right. And then when they come up, that's what they look like at the end.
At the end.
Okay.
So
it's neat because you have this. And then it looks like a really hard chip.
Yeah, and essentially it is a chip. And I was just going to say, I like potato chips in my sandwiches.
Yeah.
So it's
best sandwich ever is regular Lay's chip.
Yeah.
2 slices of white bread.
Well, that's it. I may not be able to get away with it at town, so I put chicharrones on instead. So basically, we have the tuna mayonnaise on there, and then you can see the chicharrones popped up.
See, they popped up now.
And then they just need to be turned over. So, and then over here, this is our pork belly that we've warmed through.
I'm gonna eat this. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, go for it.
It's only a little bit crunchy, and that's amazingly good for what it is. You wouldn't think that would have a lot of flavor, but
yeah, it has a lot of pork flavor to it. So basically, this is our meat portion that's just been gently warmed. I'll pull these up.
And that's the worst part when you go and get a sandwich at the place and they only have that 1 slice.
Yeah.
How many's in here?
You got 6 slices in here.
Wow.
So you've got well over 3 ounces of meat in here. So it's a good sandwich. It's a good sized sandwich. Basically, we put the chicharrones in there for crunch.
Yeah.
Slaw. On there.
Wow.
Like that. A little bit more of our tuna mayonnaise on the top run. Like that. And we use a little knife just to hold it in place. And that's the sandwich.
Is that how you serve it?
Yeah.
With a knife in it?
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's like a weapon almost.
Yeah. Well, you can take it out. You can slice it with a knife.
Threaten your friends?
Threaten your friends?
Yeah, whatever. All right. Mark from town, come on down and try this sandwich. And if you're looking for it on the menu, it is?
The porchetta sandwich.
There you go. We're going to be right back with dish number 3 here on Ottawa Eats on Rogers TV. What would Ottawa Eats be without balls? Meatballs, of course. We're here at town. This is Mark, if you're just joining us, and he's made some beautiful dishes already, but the third one is the pièce de résistance.
Well, yes, and it's also our staple dish.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can call it staple dish.
Yeah,
I like to speak a little Spanish here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about this dish. What is it exactly?
Well, basically, like, the idea behind the meatball anyways is it's our Italian version of coming in for a pint of beer and a hamburger.
Oh, okay.
So basically you can come in for a glass of wine and some meatballs.
Right.
Right, it's that kind of idea. Secondly, when I decided to put meatballs on the menu, we had to come up with something that was just a little bit different than your ordinary meatball.
Right, yeah.
So essentially, we tried different processes and ideas, and we came up on one that we really liked, and it works for us. And I feel like it's a little bit original. Like you see it now, but I hadn't seen it before, kind of thing. So
your balls are unique.
My balls are unique. Yeah.
This is important.
Yeah.
Now there's a process in going into actually making your meatballs as well. It's not like you just go out and you just buy ground chuck and that's it and you throw them together.
No. Our process is we have ground pork, ground beef, and then all your traditional stuff. You know, your onions, your garlic, your parsley, all these kinds of ideas. You also have what we call as a panade. So we make focaccia bread here. We make our own bread at night for service, and what we do is we take that bread, then we cut it up, we mix it with eggs, and then we add some milk to that.
Right.
And we let it soak. And then once it soaks overnight, the next day we take it and we puree it. And this is a secret that old Italian...
I would never think to do this.
Yeah. Well, it's a secret that old Italian grandmothers used to use to stretch their meatballs.
Okay.
So essentially what you're making is you're making another almost meat but out of bread, and the texture that it adds is fantastic.
Right, so you've decided to incorporate it into this.
Into that.
Right, and now your sauce as well is something that you guys take a lot of pride in, obviously, right?
Yeah, of course. Our sauce is always made a day before we make the meatballs. Good tomatoes, obviously, like San Marzano if you can get them. Fresh basil, lots of basil. We put red wine in ours, which gives it a bit more of an acidic kind of thing.
Anytime you can add wine, it's good.
And it goes with wine, so.
Yeah, well, wine does go with wine. That's a good point.
Yeah.
If
I could show you something else
that's
quite unique to our meatballs.
Yeah.
Is once we've made our meatballs, we've braised our meatballs in the tomato sauce. We take an apple core and we core out the center of the meatball, and then we make a mixture of ricotta cheese, Parmesan, salt, pepper, and we blend that up. Then we put that in a piping bag, and we. So it's like a treat, you know.
You could just make it simple, and now you got to get all fancy.
Yeah.
Now you got stuffed balls.
Yeah, no, stuffed balls.
Yeah, so way to go, Mark.
Yeah.
You made the rest of us look bad again. All right. So now let's get to actually putting this dish together.
So,
how does this all kind of work?
Very simply, we make a polenta, which is just polenta, water. We add some cheese to that.
Love polenta.
We add cheese, butter, salt, pepper, and that's all there is to it. We'll put it down like this.
I find that a lot of people are afraid of polenta. They look at it almost like the KD of corn-based food.
Yeah, the thing with polenta is unless you get instant polenta, you got to cook it for a long time.
Yeah,
that's the secret. A lot of people have it or make it at home and don't cook it long enough, and it's like. I
grew up eating polenta with liver.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I know people are probably disgusted at home right now. Ew, liver.
So, and then I've just warmed up our meatball. So basically it's our tomato sauce that we've just warmed up.
Yeah.
Over the meatballs. We simply just put it at the center.
Wow. And again, are you consciously doing the combination of colors? Is this something that goes into your thought process when you're putting together a dish, or is it kind of just by a happy accident that it comes together like this?
This is a happy accident.
Okay. I like that you're honest.
Yeah. mostly it is a consciousness, because I think people eat with their eyes.
Yeah.
And they see something they want. So. And then basically this is Malden salt, which is a really chunkier salt.
Is that the only difference?
It's sea salt that's a little. It's almost less intense, but
it looks
salty.
like ice almost.
Yeah. So we put that on there, and it gives a little bit of a crunch as well.
Okay.
We use vincotto, which is vincotto is a grape must. It's kind of sweet. It's like taking balsamic vinegar to the next level kind of thing.
Oh, so I've never heard of that either.
Yeah, it's really nice. So we'll put that over the tomato sauce as well, adds another kind of depth of flavor. The next step is we take our Parmesan and a rasp, and then we just basically shower the meatball with the cheese.
You ever had a cheese shower before? It's not recommended. Come out really stringy. You can ask me to leave the kitchen at any time here, Mark.
No, I like it. It's great. Yeah, and then that's it. That's parsley on top.
Okay. And that's it?
Yeah, that's our
So you
meatball.
have this with a nice glass of wine?
Glass of wine, pint of beer. Like we have great craft beer here too. So, you know, it's the idea is you pop in on a weeknight. It's not expensive. You have this, whatever you want to drink.
And it's just
it's
just enough food. It's not going to make you feel like you just ate an entire huge massive meal, right?
Yeah, and I should also say they come in 2 sizes, so you can get 2 or 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if you are a little hungry, you can just upsize it.
Yeah.
Do you ever ask them that? Would you like to upsize?
No.
No. Yeah. Well, that's for other places to do, not here at town, right? Yeah. All right. So if this dish is called.
This is just our meatballs. Meatballs.
Now we've seen your 3 beautiful dishes here. Real quick, what's your favorite dish on the menu? You, not for the customers, the one that you like to eat the most. If you're in the kitchen.
Well, we have a dish on right now. I didn't come up with the name, but it's a boneless short rib. So, it's a short rib that we take the bone out, we braise it.
Right.
And then we use it with hominy style polenta.
Yeah.
And we call it Bone Thugs and Hominy.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with that, they need like a high five.
Yeah.
I'll give them one of those. There you go.
So I think it's a great dish. The meat is super tender. We actually grill it after as well. We have a salsa romesco on there. We have padron peppers or shishito peppers that we grill and put on there. We have beef tendons that we treat very much like our like the chicharrones that you had, but made with beef tendon.
Oh, okay.
So we get beef tendon chips on there as well. Grilled lettuce, grilled romaine was on there too. So that's probably my favorite dish.
And it's got the best name. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to try some of these dishes and wrap things up here with Mark on Ottawa Eats on Rogers TV. So that's another edition of Ottawa Eats. Thanks so much for joining us. Mark, thank you for having us.
Thanks for being here.
Absolute pleasure. You have the gift of beard and the gift of culinary skills here. Where can people find you if they want to make a reservation?
Well, we're located at 296 Elgin Street, in the heart of downtown. Our website is townlovesyou.ca. You can find us there. Make reservations online if you wish, or call. The phone number is 613-695-8696.
All right, there you go. The man with the gift of beard and the gift of the culinary skills, and of course all this looks amazingly beautiful, but you really sold me on the meatballs, so
there you go.
I'm going to dig in. Thanks for watching, and don't you wish you could be doing this? So come here, town, Ottawa Eats. I take big bites. Oh my God. That's really, really good.
Oh, good.
Can you just come to my house and just make meatballs?
Sure, anytime.